What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Chris. Welcome back to Game Chat. Today is going to be the first episode of the Toronto Raptors rebuild. How this is going to work is this is going to be a 20 to 25 episode series, probably less than that. I'm probably overshooting how long this will take me. And I'm going to be rebuilding the Toronto Raptors to the point where we can win a championship. This is like the blueprint episode. There's not going to be any gameplay. Episode 2 will have some gameplay. That could be out maybe Wednesday or Thursday or maybe even Tuesday, depending on how quick I can edit this. Episode 2 will also have a face cam. So that'll be better. Like the gameplay, I'll have me in one of the corners somewhere. Just for episode 1, I don't have the time to set up a face cam and stuff. So yeah, we'll start with our roster. We'll just go over like kind of what I think about each player on the team. So we're going to start at point guard, of course, Fred VanVleet. He's going to be our guy for at least the next 2 years till he's 29 years old. He averaged 19 points per game. The thing I don't like about Fred is look at these efficiencies. These are terrible. I'd rather have a guy who averages me 15 points and 6 assists, 4 rebounds, and shoots like 45% from the field. I don't want you taking I don't want you taking as many shots as you do. It's irritating, and that's one of the biggest problems I have already with him, and that's why he won't be my point guard for when we win a championship, I believe. Number 2 on this point guard list is we have Goran Dragic. Goran Dragic is a guy who's not going to touch the floor for the Raptors, for me at least. He'll be on the trade block. We're just going to look to, once we find a suitor for him, that's when he will no longer be on the team. He doesn't want to be here. I don't want him on this team, and I'm just going to try to acquire maybe a young asset from like Dallas or another location to get him off the roster. Malachi Flynn, a rookie last year. This will be his sophomore season. He averaged 7.5 points. 2 assists. He was really good towards the end of the season. I'm not worried about the efficiency with him because he's a rookie. Fred, you're like 5 years in the league. Yeah, 5 years in the league and you're doing that. I think he could potentially be our point guard of the future. I hope he can. I really like Malachi Flynn, but I'm not 100% certain he will be. Shooting guard now. Gary Trent Jr. just signed to a pretty big contract on a 3-year deal, making about... I can't do math. I don't know how much. I forget. But he's going to be our our perennial 6th man of the year for us. Like, he'll be our 6th man for the whole rebuild, or at least for the duration of his contract. And I don't want him to start at all, even in the case of an injury. I just want him to be a spark plug and just score off the bench. Our starting shooting guard this season, Scotty Barnes. I've already kind of messed with players' tendencies and positions. Scotty will be a shooting guard at least for this first season, like he was in college last year. Shooting guard, power forward, who'll be starting next to Fred VanVleet. I'm so excited about this. He's probably I'd say my top 2 favorite prospects in this class, behind Alperen Sengun. And I'm just so excited about how he's going to develop. I want him to develop that 3-point shot. As you see right now, it's a C-. I think as long as we can get him to a B, that'll be terrific. And yeah, he's going to be our starting shooting guard, or at least a starter for his whole career here in Toronto. Svi Mykhailiuk, he's just kind of going to be an injury replacement type of guy. Not like he showed potential, but he's just going to be a streaky shooter for us off the bench potentially. Small forward, OG Anunoby. This is the guy I want to focus on the most this season. I want him to be our most improved player. He will be our number 1 scoring option, and we're just going to try to play through him, feed him the ball. I want him to at least average 20 points per game this season. I'm not too concerned about the efficiencies because he has been a pretty efficient player this year. I bumped up his tendency to where I wanted at an 85, and yeah, that's OG Anunoby. I'm really excited. I think he can be a Kawhi Leonard for us. U2 Watanabe on my I mean, same thing with Svi. They're both just going to kind of be spark plugs off the bench. I really liked what he did last year, but this is 2K at the end of the day, and he won't really become anything in this game. Power forward, we have Chris Boucher, who is on the trade block along with Goran Dragic. He's a 1-year deal. He doesn't have muscle. He doesn't bring perimeter or inside D, and I just don't really want him on this team after this season, so he'll probably be the first player to get moved. Pascal Siakam, he is on the block as well, but I do want to keep him. I want to get him back to where he was averaging 23 points per game. And yeah, I really do think if we can get his 3-point shot better and back to where it was at one point, he will be our star player yet again. Center, Khem Birch, not much to say. I mean, he's going to be a fine backup / fringe starter. kind of a bridge guy for us for a little bit. Same with Precious Achiuwa. Freddie Gillespie probably won't play or progress to anything because this is 2K. Now we'll just quickly go over the trade block. Marvin Bagley, Terry Rozier, Markelle Fultz, Jalen Smith, all guys I'm looking at. Terry Rozier is probably the most least likely to get because he just signed that massive extension. But if he's having a rough start to the year or just has a terrible season, he'll be a guy I look at to be my point guard of the future. We already went over who we have on our trade block. The Untouchables, Scotty Barnes, OG Anunoby. Both guys that just I'm not moving no matter what. I don't really care what anybody has to say about that. OG is my franchise focal point. Same with Scotty Barnes. I think these two are going to be our 1-2 punch for many years to come. Really quick, we'll just kind of go over mentorship. I haven't really touched much in this, and this is like my first actual rebuild, so bear with me, guys, while I try to find a player mentorship. There we are. We're going to get the guide. I do know how this works. Okay, I got it. Thank you. All right, so we're going to go to, where is he? Malachi Flynn, and we're going to assign Fred VanVleet to him. If you guys have any suggestions on what you want to see in this series, let me know. Help me out, because I've been rebuilding since I was really little, but I haven't ever had to do it in front of a camera. So let me know if there's any suggestions you guys have so I can improve this series. I don't like that one at all. We'll have Scotty Barnes getting mentored by Pascal Siakam. Maybe he can teach him that deadly spin move. Yeah, I really do like Pascal. Like, I like him a lot. I really hope we can get him back to where he was at one point. I think an 83 overall is a little disrespectful to a guy who still averaged 21 points per game on good efficiency last year. Now we're going to head over to our lineup really quick. So we're going to have Fred VanVleet getting 33 minutes a night. Scotty Barnes, the rookie, starting the season with 29 minutes a night. OG Anunoby at 35. He's going to be getting the most on the team. Pascal with 33. Ken Birch, 25. I'm still going to try to find that center of the future. I think Jalen Smith is going to be that guy I want. Gary Trent Jr. is going to be getting 31 off the bench. 24 for Chris Boucher. 18 for Precious Achiuwa. And 12 for Yuta Watanabe. Malachi Flynn, Svi, Freddie Gillespie, Isaac Bonga, and Delano Banton, is that how you pronounce it? Correct me in the comments. They all won't be playing to start the season. Goran Dragic won't be playing for us at all. You'll see when I play the gameplay, I'll have like the coach call the plays for me and stuff, just so I don't have to worry about that. We have OG as our #1 scoring option, play through start. That's the only player I'm going to set as a scoring option. Patience, offense, limit transition. We're going to have a neutral defensive focus. We're going to play physical D. We're going to crash the defensive glass. And yeah, I'll show you guys kind of our system proficiency. We're going to start the year with perimeter centric, or at least for this season, it will be perimeter centric. In the future, I kind of want to look at a 7 seconds or less, maybe a balanced or even a pace and space type of situation. I'll show you guys the sliders I'll be rocking with really quick. Simulator difficulty will be a 55. I'll be playing on an all-star difficulty. Trade negotiator will be a 60. Contract negotiator a 58. CPU re-sign aggressiveness, which just means like what are the chances of a player re-signing with their team, is a 79. Morale difficulty and morale effects will both be 45. Same with chemistry and chemistry difficulty and chemistry effects. CPU and user injury frequency will both be 40s, and then effects will both be 50. Then I can show you like the trade sliders. Everything's going to be on. We have our trade frequency at a 35. How I'm going to do it though is when I approach a week before the trade deadline, I'll bump it up to 100. I do have the trade approval on as well. And then contracts, as you can see, I kind of messed with the sliders here. I'll just give you an example really quick. We'll pull, here's a good example, Scotty Barnes. So a high potential player. If he became a free agent on this day, he'd be asking for about 20 mil, which he won't be, but that's kind of an example. I'm still gonna have to mess with it because it was saying like Gary Trent would only ask for 8 mil. That's something that's gonna have to get messed with a bit. I can show you quickly the tendencies, and then I'll probably wrap it up there. The tendencies, yeah, nothing crazy. Yeah. So yeah, episode 2 will probably be out a couple days after this one releases. I hope you guys enjoyed, and peace out. Later.